welcome back to the David Lindsey Podcast. I'm super excited today to welcome my friend Karla Muniz. Not only is she a great leader in the Central Florida area, but we're great friends. And I think, it's just interesting how people meet.
Yeah.
And I help with another organization here locally, the United Arts of Central Florida, and help put together their inaugural golf tournament at the Golden Bear Club in Kings Point. And I believe you're on the board.
Yes, that's
And
right.
I was kind of moving people in and out and around the golf course, and Karla showed up, and I was taking her out to one of the holes, and we just started a conversation.
Yeah.
There. What was that,
That's
5
right.
years ago?
Yeah. Yes.
And
that's
I think
right.
you still serve with United Arts.
I do. Yep.
And a few other boards throughout
That's
Central
right.
Florida. I mean, community is your thing,
Yes.
right? And maybe we start there. Just talk about how important community is to you, and why it's important to you and the organizations that you serve on the board. United Arts, Central Florida Foundation,
That's
and
right.
why it's a passion for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me.
Of course.
And yeah, absolutely. I think when we met, we started to talk about our involvement in the community, and there were a lot of synergy there. So I brought you along with the American Heart Association as well, which is still an organization that I'm passionate about as a healthcare professional. At United Arts, I've served on the board for 4 years. Also Central Florida Foundation, and these are two organizations that are making strides in our community. It allows me to learn from them and connect with leaders who I admire. And that's one of the reasons why I do it. I think early on in life, my parents instilled in me that it's important to have a heart of service. And being in healthcare aligns very well with that altruistic mindset of giving back. And so, yeah, I love my community. I grew up here in Central Florida, and it just fills my cup to give back.
Well, I mean, you are the chief people officer for the IMA Medical Group.
Yes.
So I think, transitioning from the nonprofit and giving, tell us a little bit what a chief people officer does, the duty,
Okay.
and a little bit about IMA Medical Group.
Absolutely. Well, it's a cool name, I think, Chief People Officer. I've had other people tell me the same thing. Ultimately, I lead human resources for IMA Medical Group. It's a primary care physician group here in Central Florida. We take care of about 25,000 lives in value-based care. What does that mean? Is elderly care, so Medicare Advantage. And we have a strong team of individuals passionate to care for our patients. In my role, not only do I support my CEO on the cultural transformation that we embarked about 4 years ago, but at the same time, I am responsible for organizational effectiveness and that growth and development of our employees. So it's something that I'm passionate about. I think that one of my talents is to identify talent in others. I'm able to also build really high productive and engaged teams. And so I enjoy what I do. And again, it aligns very nicely with my talents.
When you stepped into that role with IMA, what was one of your first priorities? Was it kind of getting involved in seeing what the culture is and kind of transforming what you saw to something different?
Absolutely. That, and through the interview process, they were seeking somebody that was coming perhaps from a larger employer, that had sophisticated processes in order to bring that knowledge over to IMA Medical Group. So IMA private equity backed. They wanted to elevate the performance and wanted somebody that had experience with change management, which I did, and really just elevate the employee experience through programming, policies, and procedures, and just bring a lot more structure to the role and to IMA as a whole. And that's where I come in.
And so what programming, what is that, what does the type of programming that
Yeah.
you guys bring to the table?
So I'll share one that I am particularly proud of. As you heard me mention, we've gone through a cultural transformation at IMA. When I came in, there was, high turnover, and we certainly wanted to, make an impact on that from an HR standpoint. So early on, I partnered with my CEO where she agreed, Karla, let's design a leadership development program, not only for our business leaders, but also for our medical directors. And so that was exciting because that level of programming or learning opportunities had never been in place at that organization.
Okay.
Understand this is a mid-market organization. So many times companies of that size don't make those investments on their people. And that could be because of a skill set or dollars or things like that. But we knew that investing in our leaders was going to improve leadership effectiveness, increase productivity, improve employee engagement, and ultimately reduce turnover.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm a doer, but at the same time, I'm a creative. And being allowed just free reins to develop a leadership development program called 3L for short,
Okay.
but it's titled Leadership Learning Lab. It was so exciting. It was a year program, and we had different modules of things that we felt that were critical for every leader at IMA to master. And those were things such as conflict resolution, for example, or building trust, understanding your own leadership style and communication style as well. So it was this framework of learn yourself as a leader, who you are. And then once you lead yourself, then you have the ability to lead others.
I think that's the key.
Absolutely.
Because I think it helps build confidence once you can lead yourself.
Yes, right.
Because we've had these conversations before. I don't like conflict.
I know you don't. We've talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this. But I think that if you aren't able to overcome that, it leads to other type of things that don't allow you to kind of get to where you need to be.
Right.
So I think it's cool as a company that you do that. And, the 3Ls kind of led me to my next question. You're already talking about it as far as, what really drives retention today, because you see a lot of turnover in a lot of companies. And so for you guys to develop that type of programming to retain is a big deal, because it's expensive to lose employees, bring employees in.
It's expensive to hire people. Absolutely. It's costly to the company. I agree. Turnover is going up. Engagement is going down across the workforce. And so, as I mentioned, very much having employees feel like they're heard, that they belong in a culture that they feel proud to go into every day. Flexibility is huge. That's why a lot of employees are resistant to get back to the office, even though employers are like, it's time to get back. And, you start to see turnover go up whenever there is a mandate that people have to go. So flexibility is important, feeling heard and seen. And another aspect that I think is important for leaders is building trust within their teams.
How do you do that?
I know it's hard.
I mean, it's a big question.
It is a big question, but it's absolutely doable. And the best leaders know how to do it. I think that the moment that you create an environment at work where employees feel that they can bring things up, share their opinion, and they are not going to be negatively impacted by it, is the perfect start to building that trust.
And so is that a process, starting with the programming that you talked about before? Like, because it's hard, especially for a new company or new leaders to come in, for maybe employees that have been there for 5, 10, 15 years, that have been part of a certain culture, and then now you're telling them to trust you, right? So that's got to be part of the initial, quote, sell for an environment, right? To get to that trust level.
If I was to give advice to a new leader in the organization, I am going to tell them to invest time in gaining trust with the team. And that is a very much one-on-one relationship. So rather than a program or something like that, it starts with you showing up every day as a leader, as an authentic person, showing your vulnerabilities, being open to provide feedback, but take feedback. Ask for feedback, spending the time getting to know the team, getting to know what motivates you, what excites you, how you like to be recognized, all of that. That's how you start gaining trust, is that one-on-one relationship with your team.
It's very good. And I think that if you do have an authentic leader, you'll see the transformation pretty quickly within,
1,000%.
right? What workforce trends should leaders not ignore right now?
Well, the most common basic one right now is you cannot ignore that, you want it or not, you know it or not, employees are utilizing AI. And I think as leaders, what you want to do is make sure that there are guardrails to keep the information from your organization safe. So partnering with HR, partnering with your IT department. We're not going to ignore that employees are using AI. We just want to make sure that they're using it safely. And again, that especially in healthcare for us is so important, data management. But in many other industries, it's the exact same thing. So that is one aspect that you cannot ignore. And it's just being at the forefront of being highly communicative to say, we know you're using it, how you're using it. This is the one that is safe, or this is the one that we have greenlit for the organization. So do that. And then what are those tasks that we are allowing AI to support, and where are the ones that we're like, nope, this still needs oversight.
Yeah, I mean, because AI has been around for years, but it's just now coming into the
Absolutely.
forefront of industry, no
Right.
matter what it is.
Right.
And it's probably scary to a lot of people in HR because they're like, hey, wow, AI, how's that going to affect me? How's that going to affect what's going on? So is that part of a trust as well? That, hey, this is for the betterment of the company. This is because AI is not going away.
Right.
It's here, and it's just going to continue to evolve.
Right. And I think it's just not just for AI. I think employees themselves are concerned about, hey, let me dabble on this AI before it's too late. And then my skill set becomes obsolete.
Yeah.
So I think it's the right thing to embrace it and learn. It's just us being proactive as leaders in terms of, we know we're using it, just make sure that we are being careful and proactive and having the conversations and having governance in terms of how it's going to be utilized.
Okay. In HR, how is wellness within the workplace? How important is that?
Yeah.
Because it's, it seems to be a part of culture with bigger companies, smaller companies. They want you to go and take care of yourself several times a month, and if you do, you get this.
Right.
So it's important, right? I mean, it's something that you guys focus on.
Absolutely. All employers should focus in wellness, but especially in healthcare, where it's a high-stake environment, 24-hour service. There's so much burnout from a patient caregiver standpoint. Wellness is critical. Plus, we live in such a stressful environment, and there's so many demands. So yeah, I think it's wonderful that organizations, big and small, make investments in wellness. I think after COVID, the workforce became a lot more human. And we've just, show up at work understanding that there are things at home that at times impacts our performance and things like that. And so absolutely, I think as an HR leader is so critical for employees to understand the resources available to them. At times, employers don't do such a great job letting them know that there is an employee assistance program that is available to them. And there's so many free resources. And a lot of people think, well, mental health, but that's not only the resources available, but at times when you need a financial advisor, there are resources there. Sometimes legal resources are also available from an employee assistance program, and so many other programs in terms of, I want to quit smoking, or I want to be part of a, mom's group, or when I lose weight. I mean, there's so many opportunities from a wellness perspective. It's just making sure that we pause as employees just to see what's out there, and for employers to do a better job at just not only posting it on a website
Yeah.
that they know employees accessing.
Just to go back, because obviously it was a challenge, and it was a challenge for a lot of industries, but if we go back to COVID, you had, in the HR world, you had to pivot so quickly.
Oof, yeah.
And can you talk about, what that looked like from an HR perspective? And then, we're in 2026 now, again, pivoting, but it's a little bit longer. And I mean, people are still getting used to going back to the office.
Right.
Can you talk about, first of all, COVID comes, and then, we got to react and can't be in the office, got to stay at home. And now it's, well, now we need you to kind of think about getting out of the house and coming back. We had
Right.
hybrid. Now we need to come back. Do you mind talking a little bit about those challenges that came with
Yeah.
COVID?
Wow, I remember March 1st, 2020. I received a call from my chief people officer at the time. I was working at Advent Health at the time. And she asked me to join this call. And the title of the meeting invite was Pandemic Response Team. And I can tell you that for about 2.5 months, it was a blur. I don't even know how my child, she was a kindergartner at the time, even got fed. I remember working 16-hour days, 15 days straight. My husband is in IT as well. And so HR and IT were impacted the exact same way.
Yeah.
There were so many processes that were happening in real time. It could be our executives making decisions in the morning at 9 o'clock and me having by 2 p.m. a process in order for us to execute the next morning. So it was challenging, of course. So much anxiety and uncertainty that we needed to manage. But at the same time, HR rise to the occasion. And we were nimble. We had to work really, really fast and, get things done with the information that we had on hand. Highly adaptable, highly responsive. And, every 6 months things started to look different, So first it was just a high anxiety, but we still needed to make some decisions, send people home. So in a matter of a week, we sent over 7,000 employees home, people that had never worked from home. Did not have an office set up, but we made it happen. And then it was making sure that we had enough equipment for our employees to keep them safe. And then became the vaccines and who was going to get the vaccination first, second, and third. And so every 6 months, it was just a new normal. And then just to answer your question, fast forward a year and a half, 2 years later, and it is okay. I think the dust has settled. We know how to live with COVID. So let's bring people back to the office. And then it was just being at the table, making decisions in terms of who really needed to be back in the office and who was not necessarily required, and what did that really mean when it came to making sure that we were meeting the needs of the business while at the same time meeting the needs of our employees. And so it was decisions in terms of, nope, hybrid works for this team. And nope, this team absolutely needs to come back, and this is a business reason why. And then let's have meaningful conversations with those employees so they can understand it. But at the same time, just with IMA, we were strategic to say, you know what, we are hybrid first. And with that, we've been able to make hiring decisions of exceptional talent that are fully remote and is work for us and for some of these roles. And so we're not going back. And these will be remote roles because they worked, and we appreciate the talent, and it allows us to bring people and tap talent from across this nation rather than just Central Florida.
Exactly.
So, the strategy, it all depends on the role, the business need, the employees, the specific talent. Yeah,
So there's a lot of positives taken out of it.
absolutely. A lot of learning, a lot of growth. Yes.
But did you ever find yourself just kind of dreading another Zoom call?
Yeah.
Or oh my God, because I know we were all kind of virtual at that point, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's, when there's the challenges, what you can bring out of it turns into more of a positive.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
is it going to continue to help?
Yes. Yes.
As you move forward within your career and other people, to see that, to attack it from a positive rather than think of all the negative is always going to be more of a positive for the employees and the
Absolutely.
workforce, right?
Yeah, you tested adaptability, tested resiliency. I knew I was a resilient person at the time, but then just, how we use our creativity, how we were able to make decisions, fast with the data that we had on hand. That just really just sharpens your tools and your knives in terms of, okay, I know I could do it. I can do it again, if something like this was to happen.
Well, you're obviously successful in what you do, and a lot of us that consider ourselves successful have mentors that we follow. Do you have a mentor or a leader that you like to lean back on and say, hey, I have this going on or I have this going on that you would like to talk about this morning? And
Absolutely. And I tell you, most successful people just don't have a mentor. They have many mentors.
That's right.
And I have several mentors.
Okay.
And I have several mentors just based on my specific need or guidance that is needed. I have women mentors that I call and I'm like, yeah, I'm struggling with this, just, to be a mom and a wife and a community leader and how do you do it and things like that. I have male mentors that just for example, my first opportunity to work in private equity, I called, male friends because I really didn't have female friends in my network that had gone through private equity, but that I pick up the phone and call. And I'm like, hey, I'm coming from a Christian nonprofit organization now to for-profit. Private equity is going to be a big shift. Help me. And, these are individuals that care about me and gave me the time of day. And they're like, Karla, as you move in, this is what you want to focus about. It's all about creating value, know your numbers, do this, do that. So absolutely, I have several mentors, people that I trust, that I've invested time, energy, and effort, making sure that I build a rapport with them, individuals that I admire. And today they've become friends where I can text or pick up the phone and say, hey, you have 5-10 minutes. I have this decision that I need to make, or I want to run something by you. And I'm just blessed that they're there and available for me.
How do they get to that level of being, because you talked about trust before within the workplace, and how do they get to the point? Do you guys have the conversation about being a mentor? Is it just something learned? Is this expected? Because it's vice versa. They reach out to you and say, you just bounce stuff off of each other and it just becomes, like you say, rapport.
Yeah. So for some, it was a very traditional, hey, I admire you. I would like to one day have your role. And would you have any time to investing me as a mentor? So a couple were very traditional, will you give me the time of day? These are busy people. But when I am coaching my team or other leaders, I let them know it's important to have mentors, not just one person, people, again, that you admire, and have that conversation. Because ultimately, for individuals that are successful, it is a stroke on their ego to be like, I admire you. I wish that, you would invest in me.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Most of the time, if not all the time, these people are going to say, sure, yes, I'm happy
They're
to
kind
do
of
that.
waiting for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I say ask. Others have been individuals that I've just developed a conversation with out in the community. They are doing amazing things. I like the way that they think. I like the stuff that they're doing. And so there's that mutual respect, admiration. You're starting to develop that relationship. I can tell you that one thing that is also important on that mentor-mentee relationship, because I'm also at this point in a position that I'm mentoring young professionals. You got to be okay being vulnerable. Because you're coming to them because you have a concern or you're being challenged with something and stuff like that. And so I think you have to have enough self-awareness that in a mentor-mentee relationship, there needs to be a certain level of vulnerability, and it starts with you.
Absolutely. And sometimes that's hard. So if you can do that.
That's why I mention it.
Exactly.
That's why I mention it. That's hard. But oh my goodness, mentors can open doors and get you into rooms, make a recommendation, answer a question. I just find so much value. And again, the most successful individuals have mentors.
Well, I'd have to say that I consider you a mentor because you've
Thank
opened
you.
doors for me.
Thank you.
And, I'd like to just say that today. I mean, first of all, with United Arts, and then American Heart Association, potentially Central Florida Foundation. So I
That's
appreciate
right.
you being an advocate for me. And I think that that's what it's all about, too, right? So just wanted to switch gears a little bit and just have you talk about your family and
Okay.
your supportive husband. I know you have a daughter.
Yes.
You love to travel. I know that's a big passion of yours.
Big
Just talk about,
time.
Karla the person and kind of the things that you like to do
Sure.
and what you're passionate about outside of work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I'm married to somebody that is just such a great partner. He's an introvert. He's in IT, and he's an amazing partner because that man has never tried to clip my wings.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea, any passionate project, the man just positioned himself. His name is Miguel, in a way that he's like, "All right, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
make this happen."
Mm-hmm.
For many years, we worked to travel. So he is my travel partner, and we have been to 6 out of the 7 continents. Some of our, most fondest memories are in a train station. We don't speak the language, but we make it happen, and we get on the
That's right.
train.
You find a way to
We
communicate.
find a way to communicate. So, it's amazing. We're foodies. After being married for a while, we decided to start a family. And so I now have an 11-year-old. She's a mini me.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like her father, but oh my goodness, she's spunky like her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she is also a world traveler. She got her passport at 6 months. She has been to 5 continents already. The girl can, eat anything. She's a foodie. Um, she is a very much a natural born leader,
Okay.
and honor student. She does tennis and golf. She plays the piano like her mama.
Okay.
And yeah, it's exciting. We are, in the midst of planning a summer adventure in Europe. And so we're excited.
No, awesome. Thank you. And, as we close today's episode, if someone listening wants to make a real impact in their community, what's the first thing that they should do?
So go through a little self-analysis of interest that you're passionate about. And once you know what are those interests, then identify an organization in Central Florida that a non-for-profit or a group that aligns with that interest, and then go out and volunteer. You will get to meet so many interesting people while you're volunteering and giving your time, energy, or effort,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's gonna fill your cup. You're going to feel good about what you're doing. You're going to meet some amazing people. You're going to learn so much about that particular organization or interest or role. Is going to definitely make a positive impact in your life. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, and I think that just by talking to friends or that you
Yes.
just say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
are you involved with this or that?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get involved. And I'm sure his friends will just have an opportunity.
Absolutely.
They're probably involved
Absolutely.
in something,
And
whether
if they aren't, a quick Google search
quick Google search.
is going to
Absolutely.
get you to an organization or a group that is doing just some amazing things in Central Florida.
When you look at the next chapter of your career, in your
Mm-hmm.
life, what is it that you're most excited about? What's on the
Yeah,
horizon for Karla?
for Karla. Well, this is an interesting year.
Mm-hmm.
Year that every year I select a word that is going to guide me, center me throughout the year. The word this year is grateful,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because I've had just really fulfilling career with IMA Medical Group, an amazing leader that I get to work with, the CEO, Donna Walker, and just some exceptional peers that I've learned from, and that I get up every morning just empowered and energized and things like that. At this point, I'm just really exciting on continuing to invest in my professional and personal growth. I'm excited of having to apply for a Women on the Board program with Harvard University.
Yeah.
Got accepted.
Congratulations.
So thank you. And so in about a month, I'll be going to Boston for that particular program. And so I'm excited about that. Although I have extensive nonprofit board experience, having to invest and work on maybe landing that first private board experience assignment is something that I'm, putting energy and effort in. And so, yeah, that's something that, I'm very much looking forward to in the near future.
Maybe some speaking roles, some keynote opportunities.
Maybe some speaking roles. Yes, yes. It's exciting
Yeah.
that sometimes, I get tapped to either speak at a podcast like this one, or, attend some sort of women's conference, or just HR, conference where I'm able to bring my expertise and knowledge. And so, yeah, absolutely. That's also on the horizon.
And this kind of second part of that, what keeps you motivated day to day? What gets you out of bed, keeps you fired up?
Yeah.
Things that you look forward to daily, weekly, monthly.
Yeah,
Things like
absolutely. So I'm a problem solver. Most women are. And so being able to create solutions, develop strategies, and then execute on those strategies at work, absolutely so fulfilling. I'm in a position where I'm able to partner with amazing leaders to problem solve, to find ways to improve organizational effectiveness, to be able to support and coach my team.
Yeah.
Just having to see, their evolution and their growth as leaders, period, or HR leaders specifically, is so motivating. So I'm empowered every day to, get up to a job that I love, and that I'm able to support individuals and see them grow, and that I'm able to influence and design solutions at work. And yeah, that's what wakes me up every night, every morning, and I'm excited about it.
Well, I thank you so much for coming and appearing on the David Lindsey Podcast this morning. Thank you for your friendship, and I just appreciate everything about our relationship. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.